Just see if you can now.
No, I can't hear.
Just see.
Yes, I can. Can you see the screen, sir?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Dr. Anjali, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead. This is your case.
Starting with the history, a 55-year-old male farmer by occupation, resident of Thane, came for routine checkup. He underwent left eye surgery before 6 months for whitish opacity. Past history of trauma to left eye by cow tail and ear back, following which he developed painful red eye and whitish discoloration of eye. He took treatment with eye drops for 2 months and then redness subsides, but the opacity remained. He had blurred vision since then, for which he underwent eye surgery. He is on 4 eye drops on regular basis post surgery.
Okay.
A personal history: patient is a smoker and diabetic on oral medication since 2 years. Family history not significant. On clinical examination, starting with right eye, unaided visual acuity 636 parts, best corrected visual acuity 6 by 9 with minus 2.25 focal lengths. Lids are normal, conjunctiva clear, cornea clear, iris normal pattern, anterior chamber normal depth, pupil round reactive to light, and lens early nuclear sclerosis. In left eye, unaided visual acuity 6 by 60, best corrected visual acuity 6 by 9 with plus 1 spherical and minus 4 cylindrical act. It's not visible on screen.
That's okay. Fundus is normal.
Lids normal, conjunctiva clear, cornea donor graft in situ, graft clear, central 8 mm in diameter, 16 interrupted corneal sutures well buried, knots, graft host junction well well
Opposed.
uh, well opposed, and iris normal pattern, anterior chamber well formed and quiet, pupil round reactive to light, lens early nuclear sclerosis,
Fundus normal.
fundus normal.
Clinical picture, and you can come to diagnosis.
So my diagnosis is right eye
Could
earlier
we
nuclear.
have you describe the clinical picture?
Yes, sir. Um, the clear graft with 8 mm diameter with 16 interrupted corneal sutures taken, and knots are well buried. Graft host junction
You
is
said it's a clear.
apparently
You said it's a clear graft. Is it a skin graft, or is
uh,
it a full thickness lid graft?
it's a full thickness graft.
What graft is it? You just said graft. So is it a skin graft?
Corneal full thickness clear corneal graft, and graft host junction is uh, appearing healthy,
Hmm.
and uh, no limbal no anterior chamber is appearing quiet.
When
And
you describe the cornea, what are the headings under which you describe it?
in general, cornea is described in size of dimensions,
Okay.
and
So do these dimensions look normal?
sir, graph, sir, 8 mm graph diameter as given
Okay.
it.
So the cornea seems to be of normal diameter, and there's an 8 mm graft seen in the center of the cornea.
Yes, sir.
So it's central or eccentric?
Graft is central.
Central. Okay. The next thing, when you look at the cornea, you look at the shape. So what does the shape look like? Does it look like it might be?
So it's a watch glass shaped. uh,
Does it look like it might be,
horizontal diameter more than vertical.
does it look like it might be spherical or maybe it's conical? How will you
Sir,
judge?
it's apparently looking conical.
Conical. How would you judge that? Have you heard of something called the window reflex?
Yes, sir.
So can
Sir,
you?
when we
So is there something that shows you a window reflex on this?
no, sir, but
There's one big bright light you can see, right?
yes,
Where
sir.
the arrow is, where somebody's showing you with an arrow. What is that arrow? What is that bright light?
The Purkinje image
Of what?
and anterior corneal surface.
So from the anterior corneal surface is probably from the slit lamp,
Yes,
the
sir.
mirror, but you can call it a window reflex, right? So
Yes.
this window reflex is pretty regular, or is it distorted?
Sir, it's not regular.
The mirror that you see on the slit lamp,
Yes, sir.
is that absolutely rectangular, or does it have a tongue on the top and it's slightly wider?
It has a tongue.
Yeah, so this kind of looks pretty close to that. No?
Yes, sir.
You would say the window reflex looks like the window. That means the mirror.
It's a spherical.
So it's regular.
Yes, a regular spherical cornea.
Regular. So it's not distorted. That means the cornea is probably
Spherical, regular.
spherical. Okay. So the window reflex. So you talked about the shape, the size. You talked about the shape. Then the regularity of the surface. Is it irregular? Is there any
Surface is regular.
regular? Okay. Then what is the next thing you look for in the cornea?
And then clarity of the graft.
Correct. So the clarity.
Yes.
Then
Sutures.
yeah, that's right. The graft is clear and there's a ring-shaped opacity, and the
Yes.
sutures are seen as opacities also.
Yes.
And then what else do you look for in the cornea?
Any.
Are there some other type of opacities you could see?
Yes, sir.
Can you see blood vessels? Can you see blood
No,
vessels?
not on the graft.
Not on the graft, so, and not on the host either.
Yes, sir.
So is that of any importance?
Yes, sir. If this graft is vascularized, then there is chance of rejection,
Hmm.
and we can differentiate whether it's a superficial vascularization or deeper vascularization.
Okay, now if you look at this graft, can you see any of the normal reasons for rejection existing in this eye? What are the normal reasons why a graft can reject?
Sir, if there is pre-existing vascularized scar,
Okay, so there's no vascularization. That's good. What else? Are there any eyelashes turned in and pointing at the cornea?
no, sir.
No. So that means there are no local factors like interned eyelashes that could cause congestion and cause the graft to fail. Any other things? Does it look
No.
like there's any discharge on the lower lid?
No, sir.
No. So there's no presence of any infection
No, infection. Yes.
in the surrounding areas. Okay, what else will you look for in the cornea? Can you normally see nerves in the cornea
No.
on slit lamp?
On slit lamp, if the graft is edematous, then we can see nerves.
In a normal cornea, can you see nerves?
Yes, sir. We can see the plexus, stromal plexus.
Where do you normally see the nerves? In the middle of the cornea or near the limbus?
And in the sir, periphery.
Periphery. Okay, so normally they are seen in the periphery. Carry on.
Sir, then
Yeah.
so the cornea is spherical in shape. Graft is spherical, regular, central, and clear with healthy graft host junction and 16 interrupted sutures. Equidistant and sutures are not or well buried. No
Right.
vascularization. and endothelium appears normal, 8 mm size.
Achha, now tell me one thing, is there anything else you would like to examine in this case, which you can't examine right now because you're only seeing a picture, but if the patient was in front of you, would you like to examine something else as well?
Corneal sensation.
Corneal sensation, that's right. Would you expect that to be normal in this case?
This case is like patient is presenting after
That's
6 months of the surgery, so sensation are supposed to be reduced at this time, but eventually they become normal after 2 years.
Right, so that means you would expect normal sensation in the periphery and the centrum may be slightly reduced, but probably not very much reduced because your cornea is very clear and there is no, what sort of keratitis do you get if the corneal nerves are damaged?
Acanthamoebal keratitis.
What sort of keratitis is it called when you have no sensation?
Herpetic keratitis, viral keratitis, neurosensory keratitis,
Neuroparalytic?
neurotrophic and neuroparalytic keratitis.
So it could be neurotrophic, neuroparalytic keratitis. Okay, now carry on with the examination. The next slide. Can we move to the next slide?
Done. We are at the diagnosis right now.
Okay, so the diagnosis. So tell us the diagnosis.
Right eye nuclear sclerosis, left eye nuclear sclerosis status post optical penetrating keratoplasty status post healed keratitis in a diabetic patient.
No, you said healed keratitis. How did you come to that conclusion?
Because sir, in history, history says that patient had history of trauma 1 year back, and after which he developed redness, for which he took topical treatment, and the redness subsided, but there was opacity, and patient was treated surgically for opacity
Now,
after 6 months.
technically, you're right when you call it old keratitis because even a corneal abscess is keratitis. But would you like to differentiate between a corneal abscess that's infectious keratitis and say herpetic keratitis from the purpose of how well the graft would do?
There are more chances of failure of graft more with fungal keratitis than bacterial keratitis.
Okay, so I would say let's say fungal and bacterial on one side
And
take,
viral.
and take herpetic on the other side.
Yes.
Which one would have a better chance of survival?
Fungal and bacterial have better chance of survival than viral keratitis.
Okay, fine.
So we have 9 more minutes of Viva for this case.
Yeah, would Dr. Sasavade like to ask some questions?
I have to say that this is a full thickness keratoplasty.
Manoj sir, please be loud.
Anjali,
Yes, sir.
you are saying that this is a full thickness keratoplasty, and what are the types of keratoplasty?
Sir, there are various classification depending upon etiology. We have optical, tectonic, therapeutic, and cosmetic. Then full thickness and partial thickness. In partial thickness, we have lamellar, deep anterior lamellar keratoplasty, deep endothelial lamellar keratoplasty. Then Descemet stripping endothelial keratoplasty, Descemet stripping automated endothelial keratoplasty, and that's
I
it.
have to say that this is a full thickness. Can you differentiate between the anterior lamellar and full thickness?
Yes, sir. By the in slit lamp examination, we can differentiate between a lamellar and full thickness graft.
Can you mention what are the contraindications for eye donation?
Yes, sir. If the cause of death is unknown, then it's a contraindication. Age-wise, less than 2 year and more than 65, but towards the higher age group, if the cornea is clear, we can still harvest the graft. And then any active sepsis, cause of death is sepsis, active malaria, active cause of death is malignancy, any like systemic malignancy, leukemia, lymphoma, or ocular malignancy like retinoblastoma, melanoma, and viral infection like HIV, herpes, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, then subacute sclerosing panencephalitis, then multifocal PM leukoencephalopathy, and then if the patient is there is a history of high risk behavior in the like the person who is donating graft, or history of recent tattooing or piercing, transfusion.
That's good answer, Anjali. Good answer. Now, can you tell me what are the 4 drops the patient is using?
As the patient is presenting after 6 months of surgery for routine follow-up, so I think it's topical lubricants, topical anti-glaucoma, and antibacterial and steroid.
Why you think?
Sorry, sir.
You have seen the drops or not?
No, sir, it's not mentioned here.
And how long you will continue this?
Okay. Drops like to minimize the chance of graft rejection. Even after 1 year, we can keep patient on steroids, like low potency steroid like fluoromethalon for twice a day, and lubricants till patient is having sutures and foreign body sensation. Once the graft host junction is healed, and if the sutures are removed, then lubricants can be stopped depending upon the symptoms, and antibacterial.
When will you remove the?
So once the graft host junction is healed, suture can be removed. It is normally 9 months to 1 year in adults, and 3 months in pediatric population, because healing is faster in pediatric population. But standard is once the graft host junction is healed.
Patient is having anisometropia. Have you noticed that he is having diplopia? He is having -4 cylinder in the
Yes.
left. Is he having diplopia?
Sir, this cylindrical power may be due to tight suture or a loose suture.
Dr. Manoj is asking you that since there's a difference in the power of the spectacles in both eyes,
Yes, sir.
for this
Yes,
much
sir.
of a difference,
Yeah, when it is more than 4, then patient has diplopia. Can have diplopia.
In this case, is it more than 4? What is the spherical equivalent of both eyes?
Sir, for left eye spherical equivalent will be 3, like 2, half of the cylindrical power, and then 1 spherical, so total
2
3.
or 1? Because it's +1 and -4. So would it be minus
+1? Finally, +1, and half of the cylinder.
That's -2. So that
-2.
Totally how much?
Total 1 +1.
-1. So it's
-1,
-2.25 in the right and -1 in the left.
Yes.
So would you expect him to have diplopia?
No.
Okay. So at least he won't have diplopia because of anisoconia.
Yes. Thank you.
What could be the indications for this type of keratoplasty? The patient is having well circular pupil. There is no iris trauma, nothing. What do you expect that? Why the full thickness keratoplasty might have done?
Sir, technically, penetrating keratoplasty have better, easier to in comparison to lamellar, and the pre op findings are not mentioned. Might be it was a full thickness involvement of the opacity. Therefore, penetrating keratoplasty was opted.
So last minute for the viva of this case. Bhatti sir, anything you want to ask?
No, I think nothing more to ask.
Can I ask a question, sir?
Yes. Sir.
Yeah. So, Dr. Anjali, you are saying there is -4 diopter cylinder at 80 in this patient. Can you do something for this patient to reduce the refractive error, or you want to?
Yes, we can go for a topography of the patient and find out if there is any tight suture, and if the like junction is healed, we can remove that tight suture. That will help.
In this case, where would you expect the tight suture to be? At
Sir,
12 o'clock, 3
can you,
o'clock,
sir,
12,
it's
to, 12 or 6 or 3 or 9?
sorry, sir, but on my screen that I guess it's at 85 degree.
It's -4 cylinder at 80 degrees.
Yeah.
Let's take
So-
it at 90. Let's take it at 90 for approximation. So it's -4 cylinder at 90 degrees. So
Yes,
where
it's
would you?
at 180 degree.
3.
Clock hour?
At 3 o'clock or 3 o'clock.
Perfect.
So can we move on to the next case? Manoj sir, Bhatti sir.
Wonderful.
Yeah, we can go to the next case.
Okay.
Thank you, Anjali.
Thank you, sir.
You may opt not to answer for the rest of the session. I want your colleagues to answer now.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Sumit, you're
Yes.
sharing the screen.
Yeah. Dr. Fatima, you can go ahead with the presentation.
Yes.
Continue.
Sumit, have you shared the screen?
Yes, sir. I shared the screen. You can't see.
Okay. Okay. Start.
Fatima, can you see the slides?
No, sir, I cannot see.
Just a minute. We'll stop the share and then again start. Can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please.
Good evening, everyone. A 72-year-old female retired CEO reports that approximately 2 weeks ago, she noticed the onset of decreased vision in her left eye, associated with black spot close to the center of vision. The spot is present with both near and far vision and does not move away. The vision has been slightly blurred for a while. Patient gave history of both eye cataract surgery done 3 years back. No history of eye trauma, amblyopia, or strabismus. Patient doesn't consume any ocular medication at present. Patient has a history of is a known case of hypertension, hypercholesteremia, coronary artery disease, status post myocardial infarction, status post stenting 5 years prior. A patient gives history of C-section done twice and appendectomy. There is no evidence of blinding disease, glaucoma, or macular degeneration in family. Patient gives past history of 50 packs of cigarette per year with no alcohol or drug use. On ocular examination, vision in the right eye is 6'9", vision in the left eye is 660. On intraocular pressure on applanation tonometry, right eye 16 milligram of mercury and left eye 17 milligram of mercury.
Milligrams or millimeters?
On dilated fundus examination,
I'm sorry to
right.
interrupt. The anterior segment examination is normal with the pseudophakia. That slide got deleted. So you can directly go to the fundus.
Okay. On dilated fundus examination, right eye, there is clear view, 0.3 CDR with sharp optic disc margin, flat macula, scattered large soft brucin within the arcade, normal vessels and peripheral retina. Left eye dilated fundus examination shows clear view, CDR is 0.2 with sharp optic disc margin, flat macula, scattered brucin within the arcade, yellowish green membrane with the area of subretinal hemorrhage in macular area near fovea. This is the fundus of right eye. Right eye shows soft brucins. The optic disc appears normal, 0.3 CDR. Neuroretinal rim appears normal. Blood vessels appear normal.
Fatima, can you reduce your speaker volume? Because everybody is getting a lot of echoing. Can you speak again?
Yes. Okay, right eye fundus examination. Get the echo.
You can diagnose.
So my diagnosis is right eye, age-related macular degeneration, dry form, and left eye is age-related macular degeneration, left eye, choroidal neovascular membrane in the left eye. Active form because I can see subretinal fluid and subretinal blood. Subretinal blood.
What is that? You said that it is a subretinal hemorrhage.
Yes.
How do you differentiate between subretinal and preretinal hemorrhage? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
How will you differentiate
So,
between preretinal and subretinal hemorrhage?
so through OCT, we'll like to do investigation.
You will,
Sir,
which investigation
yes.
you would like to do?
Blood vessels. Yes. Blood vessels.
Clinically, would you be able to make out whether this is
Blood vessels.
preretinal or subretinal?
Blood vessels. Yes, sir. Through the blood vessels. If it is pre-retinal, the retinal blood vessels won't be visible.
But here, this is the macula, so you won't see the retinal
Yes, sir.
anyway over here.
Small foveal capillaries can be seen.
Yes.
You can differentiate whether the blood is obscuring, is it over it, or if the vessels are traversing over the blood clot, then most probably it is subretinal.
Would it be
In some-
possible? Sorry, carry on.
No, in some areas where the blood clot thickness is slightly thinner, those areas you can see those small twigs of foveal capillaries traversing over the blood clot.
Now that is assuming that you are having a monocular view. Supposing you had a binocular view, let's say on the slit lamp, would it be possible for you to directly see on the slit lamp whether this is before the retina or after it or under it?
Fatima, please
Yes,
answer.
sir. So we can only see the blood through the blood vessels. We would be able to differentiate.
If there's something lying on the table
Yes.
and it's a transparent tabletop, glass top, can you tell directly looking at it whether it's on top of the glass or below the glass? You have two eyes,
Yes,
no?
sir. Yes.
So you'll get stereopsis.
3-dimensional.
So would it be possible to use a slit lamp to make it out directly without the help of seeing where the blood vessels are?
Yes, sir. It would be possible.
Which lens would you like to use for that? On the slit lamp?
The 98D, 78D.
Okay, fine.
You said that it is an age-related macular degeneration.
Yes, sir.
What other types of retinal degenerations do you know?
So macular degeneration, if you go for a DD, that will be Doyne's honeycomb dystrophy, benign familial flex syndrome. Then North Carolina syndrome will be seen.
Okay.
Congenital hypertrophy of RP.
Okay.
So there will be glomerulonephritis, membranous glomerulonephritis. That will also give a similar picture. Then cuticular dystrophy.
In the case of choroidal neovascular membrane, you said.
Yes, sir.
Then what are the differential diagnoses in this? For this case,
So it can be a case of angioplasty, choroidal trauma, choroidal hemorrhage.
Any other causes of SRNVM you know of that can cause such a choroidal hemorrhage? Other than ARMD?
what types of ARMD you know?
Yes.
Do you-
Choroidal picture.
Hmm?
Myopic.
Yes, it could be
ARMD.
myopic. You also just said about choroidal trauma. So is there any other place where you get breaks in the Brooks membrane other than trauma?
So in the myopic lacual cracks, we will see. In myopic fundus.
You already said myo. Any other condition where you get breaks in the choroidal Brooks membrane and you also get CRNVMs? Where the skin is a little elastic?
She needs more clues.
No, sir.
Okay.
If you look, somebody's already clued it on the right side. Have you heard of
No, sir.
angioid streaks?
Yes.
Okay, so when do you get angioid streaks? Look on the right, somebody's already mentioned it, no?
Yes.
Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, pseudoxanthoma, elastic. Okay.
Okay,
So what
can
is your diagnosis in this case?
The right eye will be dry ARMD, left eye choroidal neovascular membrane, wet form of ARMD.
How often does dry ARMD progress to wet ARMD? Do you have any idea, any rough idea about the percentages?
So 10%. Like it is seen in 90% of the patient, 10% will go to a visual loss.
I request students not to type the answers. Let the candidate answer first. If you have a different answer, you can always put in later after she has answered.
What are the features of dry ARMD in the right eye?
The right eye we see soft drusen, which will be for more than 165 micron. So there are three types. One is a hyper.
Sorry.
Sorry.
25 micron or how do you measure this in micron?
So through the we can measure the vein, and if it's a half of the vein, then okay.
Okay, which vein you will take for the reference?
Veins arising from the optic, the temporal.
Be bold. You are giving correct answers.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Then tell me what are the features you are seeing? Soft brucines. Any other things you are seeing in the
There will
right?
be hypo or hyperpigmentation of RP.
Is it there?
So there is hyperpigmentation of RP. See.
What are the symptoms you notice in ARMD? What is the first symptom?
So there will be blurring of the vision, metamorphopsia.
In this case, you said the patient had some black spot in front of his vision,
Yes.
right? You
Yes,
said
sir.
that, no?
Yes.
What are the other entoptic phenomena that a patient can see normally, not necessarily in disease?
Myopic fundus, patient will see a black spot.
No, normally what can you see? Let's say you have no eye disease, but suppose you look up at the sky. So what entoptic phenomena may you see even normally?
Phosphine.
Firstly, just floaters, vitreous floaters.
Yes, sir, can happen due to PVT detachment.
Can you see the blood vessels around your macula?
Yes.
Can you see the blood cells in the blood vessels around your macula? Entoptically?
Yes. Vessels.
Okay, that's for you to read up, right? But just a hint is that yes, you can see a lot of things. You can see the macular arteries like a spreading out around. but you have to do it in specific ways. You have to look at bright lights at the sky, or you already got a hint. There's an instrument called a blue field entoptoscope that you can use to see this. And sometimes you can see the little blood vessels in your macular arteries running around, but you really have to concentrate to see them, and they only come for fleeting periods of time. And supposing you press on your eye, then what do you see? With your eyes closed in a dark room, you press on your eye. What do you see, and what are these called?
The phosphine phenomena.
Phosphenes. Okay, very good.
Fatima, now you have got the diagnosis.
Yes.
How will you investigate and manage this case?
So we will go for systemic investigation and ocular investigation.
Tell me what are the systemic investigation you would like to do?
So CBC, LFT, RFT. LFT, RFT we will do because if we are planning for fluorescein angiography or idiocyanin green angiography, so we need to rule out any contraindications.
Right.
Then hypercholesteremia as a patient has, so we will do a lipid profile. Blood pressure we will check for the patient. And then ocular investigation, the mainstay of investigation is fluorescein angiography. But nowadays we prefer OCT because it gives a better view of choroidal layer and it's of less risk and better for monitoring.
Any other investigation you would like to do?
So idiocyanin green angiography, that is a diagnostic test.
Would you like to do the OCT angiography?
Yes, sir, I would like to do, but not in this case.
You heard of CT angiography, no? They use a dye there. In OCT angiography, which dye do they use?
No.
No, sir, no dye is used.
No dye. Okay.
Know anything about Amsler grid? Amsler grid test?
Yes, sir. Amsler grid for monitoring the patient. As the patient has right eye ARMD, we would like to see whether it is progressing to CNVM. So we'll just monitor the patient and ask him to see the Amsler grid regularly, every week.
Every week or every month?
No, sir, once a week.
Good.
So last 4 minutes for the Viva for this case.
Yes. What are the risk factor in this case?
So age is the most important risk factor. Smoking, hypertension, hypercholesteremia. So the patient also underwent cataract surgeries. So there is more exposure to sunlight.
Good.
And
What are the management options you have in this case?
so for the right eye, we will manage the risk factors, give antioxidants to the patient. For the left eye, a loading dose of 3 monthly injection of anti-VEGF, and then we will see whether we want as much needed PRN or treat and extend. Either two.
If there is no response, then what? How will you convince the patient?
So if there is deterioration like loss of more than 5 letters, then we will again go for anti-VEGF.
Which are the VEGFs you know of? Anti-VEGF.
So ranibizumab, bevacizumab, aflibercept. So first we used to use pegatenib, which is not being used right now.
Anything newer than aflibercept?
Small endophin RNA has been the new one, which is the
Will you do the laser, direct laser? And when will you do it? Do you know the laser is also used in these cases?
Yes, sir. Uh, yes.
When would
When would you do direct laser?
So
Would you do
laser
direct
we will usually use for polyclonal vasculopathy.
No, supposing the CRNVM is right under the fovea, would you do laser?
No, sir. Laser is not preferred in this.
So when would you like to do it? When
If
would you
it's
think?
extra foveal more than 200 microns.
Oh, fine. Okay. Which laser would you prefer to use? An argon laser or any of the infrared lasers?
The diode laser.
Yeah, which diode? The green diode or the red diode? And why?
So green is usually preferred. Red is for the dense medium. If there is a hazy medium.
Does red also have an advantage in the macular area?
No.
Which is the pigment around the macula?
Lutein and zeaxanthin.
Lutein. What color is
Yes.
lutein?
Yellow.
Is it absorbed by, is green light? Does green light act on it or burn it up?
Yes, sir.
Which light is absorbed by lutein more? Green or infrared?
If you don't know the answer, you can.
Well, you got an
Infrared.
answer. Somebody's given you an answer, a hint down there. He says krypton laser for macular lesion. So what color was krypton? Argon was green.
Red.
Krypton was
Red.
red. So then between green diode and red diode, which would you guess would be the better answer?
Red.
Fine. So you can use the same analogy. So red diode would probably be preferred around the macula.
Okay. So we are at the, so with your permission, we have reached the time limit for the case presentation.
Yes, yes.
Should we start the OSCE, sir?
Yes, you can.
So for the OSCE, Dr. Fatima and Dr. Anjali, you can mute yourself. Rest, please unmute. Swapnesh sir, can you please unmute Dr. Varun, Dr. Saili, Dr. Deepali here?
Okay. Now, students, once you are unmuted, please don't mute again yourself, because we have to really search your name to do all that. Sumit, please tell me the names. Pragati Agarwal is unmuted. Nikita is unmuted.
Dr. Pooja Pathak, Dr. Saili Sonamne, Dr. Varun Doshi, and Dr. Deepali Patil.
Just hold on. Pooja has been unmuted. Dipali has been unmuted. Pragati has been unmuted. Fatima is, Varun has been unmuted. Nikita has been unmuted. That's all?
Yeah, Rohan, Dr. Rohan.
Okay. Yeah, we can start.
So OSCE, I will take the name and then they have to answer accordingly. If they cannot, then please say pass. So I will take the next name so they can answer. So we don't waste time there because we have only 20 minutes to finish 10 OSCE. I'd like to thank Dr. Zelda, Dr. Ashish, Dr. Sachi for helping us with this OSCEs. The majority part they have done here. So we'll go ahead. Dr. Nikita will start with you.
Okay, there will be 2 minutes for each. Start.
Yeah. So 52-year-old woman comes in with the 3-day history of painful skin rash over the face. First question, what is your diagnosis? Dr. Nikita,
Yes, sir.
answer please.
Okay, we need to pass it.
Yeah. Dr. Pragati, can you answer this?
Sir, herpes zoster keratitis.
Herpes zoster what?
Keratitis.
Anji? What did you say after herpes zoster?
Keratitis.
Keratitis. Okay.
And what is Hutchinson sign? The second question is?
Sir, if the tip of the nose is involved, then the chances of the patient developing keratitis is more because of the involvement of nasociliary nerve.
But sir, can we give one correct for that and one wrong?
Well, actually, if you look at it, since she's an ophthalmologist and she looked at the keratitis, now I was going to ask her one more question. How did you know it's keratitis? The cornea looks clear.
Yes.
So how would you still want to say keratitis?
The ophthalmicus.
That's the overall diagnosis. But does this patient have keratitis?
So according to history, patient is not giving any like of eye-related symptom.
Is the right eye showing ciliary congestion?
Yes, sir.
At least is it showing congestion?
Yes, sir.
No. The right eye is not showing any congestion?
No, there is congestion, sir.
It's congested compared to the left.
Mm.
And if you have keratitis and herpes zoster, what sort of keratitis is it?
So,
Is it like SPKs diffuse, or is it areolar subepithelial opacities, or what sort of keratitis do you get?
epithelial, there will be dendritic pattern would be seen, then geographic ulcer can be seen.
Dendritic in herpes zoster? Or would it be just a few random SPKs, epithelial and epithelial opacities? Not in any particular shape.
Okay, last 20 seconds.
Okay, fine. I think we can give them 5 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah. Sumit, next.
Yeah. Next is for Dr. Rohan. Rohan, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Answer this, please. It's a 9-year-old boy with the seasonal complaints of itching and eye rubbing. Identify the lesion shown by the arrow.
There is a hornet runter spots and
Okay. What corneal ulcer would you expect commonly in these cases?
spring catarrh can develop into Murren's ulcer.
Can you see a little bit of opacity right on the top at
Yes,
12
sir.
o'clock in the cornea?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's in the shape of what?
What do you wear on your face in OPD nowadays?
Can my arrow be seen by the others or not? Or I
No,
think
sir,
you'll have to
I
show it.
can show the arrow.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
So
a
what is
shield.
that?
It's a shield.
Shield
ulcer.
ulcer. Okay.
I request the people who are attending not to type the right answer, please.
Okay, so
Let
what
them
do we give
answer
him? I think we still give him only 5 because he
Yes,
didn't
sir.
really get
Yes.
and if he said Murren's, that's even if he said shield after Murren's, the Murren's changes all the.
Okay,
Yep.
we'll do that.
Okay, next.
Good.
Next, Dr. Varun, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the next question is for you. A 48-year-old man comes in with the 3-day history of pain, blurring vision, redness of the eye. He underwent a corneal graft 3 months ago. What is your diagnosis? Others, please.
It's a corneal graft rejection, most probably endothelial. The black arrow indicates a Cauda line, which is the inflammation between the graft and the host. Hello.
Yeah, but sir, can we give him full?
Yeah, I think we can give him 10.
Okay, sir.
And just for curiosity, this Dr. Khuda Dost, where does he come from? What's his full name? And is he still alive? Anybody can guess?
Yeah, no bonus marks, but you can guess anyone.
Yeah. What's his nationality? I mean, not where he worked, but where he originally came from.
India.
See,
No
you
idea.
know, let me give you a hint. You know that the Arabs say Allah and the Persians say Khuda. So
Oh, yes.
where do you think he comes from?
Iran.
Iran. Okay. Though he didn't work there, he did most of his work in the US. And what is his full name? If I told you that, then you would have probably said he's an Indian. Ali Asghar Khudadust.
Okay, sir.
And is he still alive?
Don't search Google. He expired 2 years back.
Well, he died about 2 years ago. So he was alive when you all joined ophthalmology, but he's dead now.
I'll just take a moment to welcome our president, Dr. Peetam
Yeah.
Saman sir, who has just joined us.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Bhatti sir. Good evening to you.
Good evening. Good evening.
I'm
Dr.
sorry I
Sasavade-
joined late, but
Dr. Manoj Sasavade sir is also there.
yes,
Sir.
I think I think we deserve to really applaud. I would like to thank Dr. Manoj Sasavade sir for giving his time
Yeah, thank you.
for today's webinar, sir. So your presence has made a lot of difference.
Yes, I
We
would also like to thank him a lot. I was planning to do that at the end, but I think it's
Yeah.
appropriate to do it now.
Yes. Because we are trying, in these difficult times, we are trying to, on these platforms to help our postgraduates, our new generation to learn as much as possible. And Sasavade sir, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you.
I should thank you for inviting me. This is a new learning experience for me also.
No, sir, it's a pleasure to have you, sir.
Yes, thank you.
So sorry for the interruption. Please carry on.
Yes, sir. So, next question, Dr. Pooja, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the question is for you. A 63-year-old patient presents with the painful red eye for the past 3 months. Can you diagnose the condition looking at the clinical picture?
So scleritis,
Any specific answer, please?
Next. So,
nodular scleritis,
Which antibodies you will advise in blood test? Commonly.
A&E,
Sorry?
A&E,
Antibody. Anything else?
You said anti-nuclear antibodies. Any antibodies that exist in the cytoplasm of some cells, which you would like to test for?
and
P-ANCA.
Okay, so you'd like to test for the ANCA. Okay, so how much should we give her, Dr. Sasavade? Should we give her 10?
7 out of 10.
The first one, I mean, she got it nodular. Necrotizing would probably have been better, but
Yeah, necrotizing was the
Full answer. But second one, okay, we can accept with this.
so can we give her 5 or 10?
Then we should give 10.
10. Okay.
Fine. Thank you, sir. Dr. Nikita, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Try answering next. Diagnosis and the genetic mutation associated with the clinical condition shown in the picture.
This is microspherophakia. Subluxated lens.
And what about the iris?
Aniridic.
Okay, so aniridic. And what's the genetic mutation associated with this?
It is associated with mutation in P6 gene.
Okay, now this PAX6 gene, is it there in other organisms also, or only in human beings?
Right.
Would you find this in, say, monkeys or in flies or any other insects or something like that? Or is it only there in human beings?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll give that a pass. What about the inheritance pattern of this?
Autosomal recessive.
Autosomal recessive
Dominant.
or dominant?
Dominant.
Autosomal dominant.
Dominant. Okay.
So with permission of Sasavade sir, can I ask one question? If at all you are planning a surgery, then what is the which surgery are you going to do for this patient, and which IOL are you going to implant?
We'll do pars plana vitrectomy for this, lensectomy, and anaridic IOL.
Which? Aniridic IOL, but which IOL? Are you going to implant it in the bag?
No. We have done
Then-
lensectomy, so bag won't be possible for this. We can do scleral fixated in this.
So aniridic IOL and scleral fixated with a artificial iris around it. So you get such customized
Yes.
IOLs. So that is the IOL of choice if the patient has any visual potential. Okay. Sumit, next.
Yeah, so sir, will not give any marks for this, correct?
Yeah, I think we won't
Just
because
to clarify, this was a slide of aniridia, mutation associated with is PAX6, and inheritance pattern is autosomal dominant.
I think we could give her 5 because she got the aniridia and the PAX6, although she called it P6, but that's close enough.
Your call, sir.
Okay, 5 out of 10.
Five.
Okay, thanks. And then, Swapna sir, can you unmute Dr. Saili Sonavane?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Saili, can you hear me?
Just hold on. Just hold on. Yeah, I think now she can hear you.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, this is the question for you. Identify the pathology and what is retinopexy in one sentence.
So these are lattices, and for pneumatic retinopexy, we can use C3F8 and SF6.
One second, I missed the first part. What did you say the pathology was?
I feel it is lattices.
Okay, so lattice degeneration.
Yeah.
And what
What
is
is
retinopexy?
Retinopexy is gluing the retina with the help of
What does pexy mean?
sealing.
Fixing.
Yeah, sealing, fixing, adhesion.
It's okay, acceptable. No problem.
Okay. Now the second part, what are the indications of pneumatic retinopexy and the agents used for it?
The agents used for it is SF6, C3F8, and indication.
Can you use normal air? Normal air?
So usually we don't use it. No, sir.
Can you use normal air for pneumatic retinopexy?
No, sir.
What is the indication?
Indication, lattice is any artery surgery, then
No. Indications of pneumatic retinopexy. When would you do pneumatic and when would you do vitrectomy or when would you do a buckle?
break, retinal tears.
Suppose you have a retinal tear at 7 o'clock. Will you do pneumatic retinopexy?
It depends upon the involved area. Less than
Does air go up or does air go down? When
the
you
air
put it
go up.
there? Does air float in vitreous or aqueous or does air sink?
So air goes up.
So then where must the tear be for
Superior tears.
superior tear? So if you had an inferior tear, can you use it?
No, sir.
Unless the patient is an acrobat and likes to stand on his head whole day.
Okay, time up.
Okay. Dr. Deepali, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the next question is for you.
How much do we give up for the previous one? 5?
Sure.
Okay, sir.
Or we could give 10 also actually, but she's somewhere in between.
So she got the indications wrong.
Wrong. Okay, so 5.
Or 7 because she got the agent right.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, between 5 and 10. So should we make it 7.5?
Okay.
Yes, sure. It can be. Yes.
Okay, so 7.5.
Will do, sir. Thank you. So, Dr. Dipali, your question is: describe the fundus photo shown here and kindly diagnose.
Sir, this is the fundus of right eye with subhyaloid hemorrhage and some exudates are seen.
Is this right eye or left eye?
The right eye.
Okay,
Is
the
she
left
there?
side. Continue. You can continue the description.
Continue the description.
Sir, subhyaloid hemorrhages are seen and the exudates are seen over here. The D-shaped hemorrhage pattern is seen. And treatment is we will give laser.
You are not told the diagnosis.
So subhyaloid hemorrhage.
Yes, but due to what? Due to trauma?
Due to trauma.
Are there any blood vessels over the disc?
Or any diabetes.
Okay.
Diabetic retinopathy.
So it could be diabetic retinopathy in this case. So how would you treat it? Divide it into 2 parts. How will you treat the hemorrhage and how will you treat the condition causing the hemorrhage?
30 seconds.
I would. Wait, sir. First, we'll observe for any resolution of the hemorrhages. If not, then we can try for laser treatment.
Which laser?
Or is this a nice case to try all the lasers one by one?
So diode laser. And if
time up.
Okay. So, how much can you complete the answer, sir? And
here, this is a subhyaloid hemorrhage, and there are disc new vessels, and there are exudates that you can see a few microaneurysms. So it's probably a diabetic with subhyaloid hemorrhage. And for treatment, as I said, you could try all the lasers you have one by one. YAG laser to drain the hemorrhage, and argon or diode or whatever to treat the diabetic retinopathy.
okay. Marks, sir?
I think she got only the diagnosis right.
Yeah, so we'll give her 5.
Okay, fine. Yes. So now we'll repeat the cycle of the residents. We'll go back to Dr. Pragati. Dr. Pragati, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The next question is for you. There is a CT scan picture you can see. In the left eye, the arrows can be seen. Can you tell us causes of intraocular calcification? At least 4 causes.
Sir, retinoblastoma, then any foreign body, then Coats disease,
Okay. What is full form of HU? The CT scan, there is something called as HU. Pragati, are you there?
yes, sir.
So should we pass it on to another candidate or?
Yeah, we can pass it on.
Anyone else want to answer? Pooja, you want to answer this?
No, sir.
Anyone want to?
The houseful unit.
Okay.
I think it came up in the chat.
Yeah. And somebody has
Okay.
wrote horse unit also. It's houseful unit, and causes of intraocular calcification is retinoblastoma. Foreign body is better. It is metallic foreign bodies. Okay, then there is medulloepithelioma, choroidal osteoma, even atrophic bulbi. All this can show intraocular calcification. Somebody doing that on the screen, please don't.
Can I share a screen for a minute? We
Yes,
can
sir.
take a time out for that. It's related to this particular slide.
Can I complete the quiz and then?
Okay, fine. You complete the quiz and then.
Sumit, how many more slides?
Sir, for this, how much? Sir, 2 slides after this.
I think we can give five for this.
Okay, 5. Next, Dr. Varun, you're there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Take this question. Identify the pathology shown in the OCT here in the picture.
They are the drusen seen between RP and the Brooks membrane. MPS is macular photocoagulation study to evaluate the role of laser in CNVM. And it was not that effective mode of treatment, which was followed by PDT and anti-VEGF. And currently, anti-VEGF being the mainstay treatment. So it's CNVM.
Sasade sir, is that okay?
For him, it's okay.
I think, yeah, that's fine. We can give 10 for that.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. No problem.
Thank you. Rohan, you're there? Last slide for you.
Yes, sir.
So, describe this ultrasound picture shown here and diagnose.
So this is a B scan image showing homogeneous echoes, well-formed echoes, and most probably it is a cystic image of cysticercosis.
But you just said they were homogeneous echoes. So then how did you come to the conclusion that it's cysticercus?
There is an encapsulated lesion over there, which is insisting the actual lesion.
So that means there's a sonolucent area in between in which there's again a sono opaque.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Which is the next imaging investigation you do here?
CT scan orbit can be done.
If you have cysticercus in the eye, would you be concerned about where else it could be? Where is it commonly there?
Hello?
Hello? Cysticercus in the eye.
Intracranial lesions can be there.
There. And where else by examination, just by physical examination, where else would you expect to find them? Under the skin?
Yes.
Anywhere all over the body under the skin? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So basically, what we expected you while describing it is not only B scan. You can see the echoes down there also. This is basically A scan with B scan. This is a composite scan showing the even the attenuation along with the lesion. Secondly, the important investigation better than the CT scan, you can go ahead with the MRI brain to see that there is associated neurocysticercosis or not. So you know what is the next line in the management in this. Anyway, sir, can we give him 5 for this?
Yeah, I think 5 is fine. 5 is fine.
So that ends up the OSCEs for today. I will stop sharing. Sir, you wanted to share something?
Yeah, I want to share one screen. Let me.
Swapnesh sir will allow you to share the screen.
Okay. Now I'll show you a series of pictures. 1 minute. So anybody can guess what this is?
So we are not
It
able
is,
to see your
it is in relationship to that.
So please share your screen.
Okay, I think I'll have to do something to share it. 1 second. Let me see.
There is a green box with arrow.
Yeah, 1 second. 1 second. Green box with an arrow.
On the Zoom window.
Yeah, 1 second. Share screen. That's right.
And whatever you want to share has to be open in the next one. Yeah, now we can see it.
Okay. Now can you see it?
Yes, yes. But the
Okay.
images are too small. Yeah.
Yeah, this is I mean, you can see the image enlarged, no? Now this is in
Yeah.
relationship to that slide where you showed calcification, right? So this is
So
one of your 4 things. So can anybody guess what it is?
Sir,
So the image is not seen. We were seeing it when it was in a folder.
Oh, acha, okay. Let me redo it so it comes for that. 1 second. One second. No?
Sumit, by that time, just announce that on 12th, we had a exam with Sion Hospital, but they have been assigned COVID duties by the medical department. So there would be a gap on 12th, and we'll continue the same session on next Tuesday. And from then on, it will be Tuesday, Friday every week.
yes, sir.
1 second. No? Just a second. Somehow it's refusing to come up.
Now it is seen.
We can see this, sir.
Yeah, but I'll need to open
So
it.
we can see a small, but images are too small. Yeah.
Okay, now
So on
can you see
better.
the big picture?
Yeah, on the right side, we can see it.
No, but can you see the big picture?
No, we are
Covering the
No.
whole screen?
No.
Okay, so then he's just sharing my Explorer. I'll have to unshare that and then do this. 1 second. You are screen sharing. 1 second. Stop share. Let me just redo it. 1 second.
Meanwhile, just to announce score, the OSCE score was 67.5 out of 100. So, yeah.
That's the score to beat.
Yeah, and date of the
Our scores will be announced later in the end.
the same mark.
Sasawati sir, we would like your students also to join in.
Okay.
Because we'll
Now can
continue
you-
this in the first half of July.
Yes, they will. Definitely they are seeing and they are.
Now can you see the screen?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay, so now these pictures, can you see?
Yes,
There's
sir.
a lesion over here and there's also something here where the arrows is. The same thing, a little more clearer here. Especially notice this one, right? It's
Yes,
got a
sir.
little pale white center. And this was the outside of the eye. This was the outside of the eye.
Hmm.
And this was the lid.
Hmm.
So what is this condition?
Nevus sebaceous of Jordison, sir.
Anji?
Choroidal osteoma, limbal dermoid, and the lid deformity.
Correct, that's right. So choroidal osteoma and a golden heart.
Yes.
Okay, I think we are through for today.
Yes, sir. Swapnil, sir.
Yeah, the marks, I think that should we send them to you separately?
Yeah,
We can say them.
Yes,
No.
Anji?
No, don't declare the marks, sir.
Okay.
We
won't
will
declare.
keep it, at the end of this series, then we'll declare the winner, which medical college is the winner.
Fine. So
Okay.
I'll just send you the
Thank
marks
you.
separately. Fine.
Yes. So thank you, Sumit, for collaborating all this. And thank you, Manoj sir, and thank you, Bhatti sir, for taking out time and giving our students a brief experience of how their exam is going to be. I suggest all these students not to be overjoyed or very disheartened by what has been your experience, but this is just a mock test. So you know how to study and where or to concentrate on which points in which particular clinical scenarios to concentrate when you are reading. Because just reading blindly is not enough. You have to read as per the questions which are expected to be asked in your exams. So thank you all. And with your permission, moderators, should we close this session?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Swapnesh and Sumit. I would like to make a comment that your students of
Yes,
JEE are very excellent, well prepared. I was comparing myself of that time when I was giving the examination. As compared to my time, they are much better and their performance is good. And good luck to them. And thank you, Bhatti sir, for giving me the opportunity to come here. And you asked excellent questions. You are a real teacher, actually, I believe. So that the questions you were asking was really the exam questions. And this was my first experience of taking the examination. That's why I am also learning through these types of sessions. So I would like to join the next session. So please do intimate whenever you are taking such types of examinations, so that I will also join and my students will also. Thank you so much.
Dr. Sasavade, I think you're being too modest, and I would like to thank you also for coming and giving us your expertise.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your comment.
Thank you. So looking forward for the MGM on the next Tuesday. Till then, study, take care, stay safe. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Swapnesh, sir. You can end now.
Thank you.